Darlene, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you good. You plugged in,
Uh,
charged up?
it was my phone case. So I
Oh, okay.
ditched it. I'm like at 13% now, but I just wanted to ask a couple of my questions, just from me. And if you could be a brother to me and, let me know your opinion. Because I talk to my family,
Mm-hmm.
and the advice I get from my family where I'm at in life is like, no, you're doing good how you are right now,
Mm-hmm.
from where I came. Because I'm from California too, now I'm in Arizona.
Got it.
I've been with them since 2009. We're now in 2025, you
Okay.
know. We did have another daughter, and I got her taken from me because my mother-in-law basically lied and said, like, I basically abused her and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All allegations got dropped, but I didn't finish my classes in a timely manner. None of the allegations were true, but I was doing my classes, substance abuse, AA, parenting, domestic violence, all that good stuff.
Uh-huh.
But since I needed one-on-one therapy, but I did group therapy. I was like on insurance and I was just trying to do what I got to do. I was a young kid and I had my first baby. She was a girl.
Yep.
Long story short, I didn't finish my classes in a timely manner and they proceeded with my case without me. So they left the opinion up to my sister-in-law whether she wanted to adopt or do guardianship. I told them do guardianship and they could decide when they want me to take me back to court or whenever they feel like I'm ready, but they basically adopted because they thought since I was doing my classes that I was going to run away with the baby. And I told them, what's going to happen when we have more? And sure enough, we move out here, have three more kids. So
Uh-huh.
those are the ones I was telling you, 7, 6, and 5. So we come from a rocky relationship, been with this guy a long time. First
Yep.
boyfriend, I've been through it all. He's been with in Pomona, up and down the streets, in
Uh-huh.
motels. I've been through domestic violence, substance abuse, all of it. I don't want to say all of it, but I can vent to a lot of girls like those ones that are down. I'm like, it either makes you stronger or breaks you. And we
Mm-hmm.
all go through not the exact same path, but similar paths where we can relate and we can go through it together. I understand all that. So out here in Arizona, I've been out here probably like 5 years, 6 years before 2020. I think I moved out here 2017. I had my other daughter 2015, so she's like about 10 now.
Okay.
So that being said, moved out here, started doing it good, having kids. I work at the hospital. He's doing air conditioning. We're doing good, you know. But we had kids, and my son, we have people that come around. We drink, We had times where we argue. Any normal couple. I understand we came from a worse past, where we used to be fighting, and now we just kind of argue. And I know I have anger issues. I know he has anger issues. I don't mean to rub it off on my kids. I'm working at the hospital. I'm trying. They go to school and they're growing up. And I feel like since I started working at the hospital in 2020 and the whole COVID was happening, I feel like I somewhat neglected my kids. I didn't neglect them, but I feel like I wasn't doing the most.
Mm-hmm.
Working, cleaning the house, like how some of these girls are saying, like I clean the house. He don't help me for shit. I have to cook, I have to clean, I have to go to work. I'm like doing like a full-time mom job. And everyone's like, I'm so proud of you. You're doing a full-time mom job and you're still being a mom. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't feel like I'm doing shit. My kids are delayed. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I never feel like I'm doing enough. And then sometimes I ask, like, is everything worth it? Because I'll get back to the guy after. But right now, I'm more focused about my son. He
Gotcha.
does have a behavioral issue, and I see it. My other kids are speech delayed, but they're coming along and they're starting to learn, and I'm helping them. And they're learning. But my
Mm-hmm.
middle child, he gets frustrated, and he wants to try to say like "fuck." And I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna get in trouble in school. And he's gotten into like throwing chairs. They didn't want him at a regular school, so they pushed him off to the autism school, which is fine. But I feel like his physician and everybody are just trying to put him on meds, and
Mm-hmm.
that's not what I want for him. I know some kids need it, but I'm just I just don't know where I'm at with him. I know you were talking about kids needing to get into boxing and stuff. That's why I started following you because of my
Absolutely.
son. That's my more focus on before the man. But
Yep.
I'll get to that after where I'm at and where I stand and your opinion on that. But what do you suggest I do about my son?
I suggest we focus on where you say you don't want to focus yet, because that's where it all starts. I can't work with you and help your boy if you and your man aren't on one accord,
Mhm.
because you're just going to confuse the hell out of your son. You're going to get him so frustrated, he's just be like, fuck, fuck, fuck. My mom says one thing, my dad acts another. They argue amongst each other. Yeah, this is you guys not being on one accord is the biggest hurdle that we need to work on for your son to get through. Now, look, I'm not saying you can't start certain things to help your son, because you can, and we'll get to that. But I'm telling you, the most important thing is between you and your man. You guys got to come to a conclusion and say, hey, are we going to work on this relationship to be better? because in life, you're either growing or you're dying. So your relationship is either growing or it's dying. And if you're not purposeful in growing, then your relationship's dying, right? There's no stagnant in life. And
Okay.
so that is first and foremost. You need to really take some time to yourself and think, what do you want? Is this relationship worth it? And if you feel that, is your man going to step up and say, okay, I feel it's worth it too, and I'm willing to do the work. Okay. So that's where it needs to start, because
Yes.
it'll be an uphill battle for us to get your son where he needs to be. If that's his home, if that's his environment, you two are the people who brought him in this world. He looks up to you the most. And you guys, if you continue to be the chaos in his life, you could imagine that's what he's going to carry on. And from what you've explained, that's what he does. He carries it into school, he carries it into home. Okay. And so that's first and foremost. Second, I would ask you, what is something that your son is really good at?
Oh yeah, Legos and things like that. He
Okay.
seems to be
So
very active.
you know me, you've been listening to me. Success leaves clues. So what is Legos? Legos is building things with his hands, using his mind body connection. And so although he may be slow verbally, you'll want to take note on what he's good at physically, and build from there, right? So you could do certain games with him when it comes to Legos, and try to make it fun for him to start talking more with that. That's something that you can use, a technique you could use to get him along verbally, because he's confident in that area already. So you could tap into it. The other is, he is going to need an outlet for his anger. He should be in jujitsu, boxing, wrestling, kickboxing. You'll see a major change just by that, because you have an outlet for him. Right now, he doesn't have an outlet. He has home where it's unpredictable. I'm not saying that you guys don't have loving home, that you don't have a peaceful home, but if you do have that, it's unpredictable, because you also have the chaos, and you guys also don't have you guys have been through so much, you and your man, in
True.
through
True,
you
because I
know.
don't mean to paint an ugly picture. That's just some of it. But there is, because he,
Absolutely.
as I explained, my boyfriend, like he's not just like a bad guy. Everyone's like, oh, he's cool, and he does his thing, and he does his everything. But thank you, because I'm listening to everything you have to tell me, because I know some people get offended, and I'm really listening.
Yeah, of course. I think when most people come up and are open enough and vulnerable enough to talk to me, at that point they're open to hear what I have to say, right? Because I'm not approaching you and saying, "Hey, I heard this. You've come to me," and so I think that helps a lot with being able to listen. Um, there's a book. It's called "The Body Keeps Score," right? And this is something you'll want to read for yourself, but also, you say like, oh, well, my kids weren't even born yet when the most roughest stuff was happening, but they were in you. They were a part of you, right? So
Right.
although you have mentally been able to keep moving forward, your body remembers. That's what the book is about, how your body remembers certain things, right? That's why a certain noise will make us flinch. That's why we'll get so emotional when we see something happen, and we won't, and when we don't know why, it's because our body keeps score. And so I have it. If you look in my storefront on my link, it'll be right there, body keeps score. But I think
Yes.
it's important for you to start educating yourself on this, because it's so easy for us to be judgmental of ourselves because of the way we react, because we're in our head. Though we think that's in the past, we've worked past it. We forget that there's multiples of us within one, right?
Well,
The
mashallah,
woman on
you're
the
talking to
wo-
someone who's been through some stuff, because
uh-huh.
I've been through molestation too, and like so I was already a broken person coming into a
Mhm.
relationship, and I understand he's had a past, so you're talking to like somebody. The judge even labeled us toxic, stay away, but
Mhm.
we always had that love. We were always there for each other when other people weren't, and things like that. So right now I came on not for free therapy, but just because you caught me at a time where I wanted like advice on about my son. So
Mhm.
I just really appreciate, and I'm listening, and yeah, I appreciate you.
Absolutely, darling. And you always have me as an option to work with me one on one, or join my app, start learning about you hear me saying things, but on the app you learn about the principles and the strategies that I use to be able to say and help people. But you also get access to our group coaching. But you need to be active in your healing, Darlene. Right now, you're a badass when it comes to fuck it, I'm gonna just get through and I'm gonna work. I'm gonna be productive.
Yeah.
But that is a distraction, right? It's a positive distraction because it helps you be a provider for your family and it helps teach you skills. But sometimes we use it as a distraction to heal what we know we need to.
Yeah.
And your kids carry some of that same trauma. They were in you. They're a part of you.
Yeah.
And they carry some of that same trauma that their dad has went through. And so there's things that they're going to need to work through even though they may have not witnessed it firsthand. It's a part of their genetics.
Yeah.
And so that's important to know. But you have the ability, Darlene, to make this shift to start the healing process for you and your family now. Because I could tell you this, if you grew up this way, then this has been in your family for generations,
Yeah.
right? And it's just been going down, down, and down. And you could either choose to be like, well, I'm strong, I got through it, but it went through you and now it's going to go down through the other generations. Or you could be the one that says, no more, I'm going to make a difference and I'm going to change that. But you need help, you need guidance, and you need a lot of work to be done.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm gonna look into that book. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Thanks for coming on, Darlene. I
Yeah.
know we didn't get to talk about your other stuff, but I'm live Monday through Friday between 8 and 8:30 a.m. So stop in
Yeah. And I
anytime.
didn't want to waste everyone's time. I know I'm a crying mess, and I know there's a lot on my mind,
I'm
but
not wasting anyone's
at least I
time.
walked away with a little piece of, something.
Absolutely. And I want, Darlene, you're not wasting anybody's time. You're valuable. And this conversation not only helped you, but it helped a lot of others, right? And I need you to change that mindset, Darlene.
Yeah, yeah. And I work at the hospital, so sometimes people are in there and they're going through it, and I'm like, one thing at a time. I understand it. I could be, like they say, the funniest person is the one who's been through the most. I
Hmm.
could be there for everybody, but that's why I came to you, a total stranger. I'm like, let me let off some of this. So I
Well,
appreciate you.
we're happy you
I
did
was
so,
listening
babe.
to the other girl too, and about her man, and I'm like, oh, I look back on stuff and I laugh, but right now I am like in a little bit of in a difficult part, but how can I help everybody else? You gotta help yourself first, right?
Absolutely.
Alrighty, well, you have a good day, and I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, Darlene, you take care. We'll talk soon.
All right, bye.